Okay. Oh, Christ. I'm so sorry. I am, first of all, just so sorry, you guys. I'm trying my hardest to figure this out. I have, like, lowered the resolution and the frame rate to hopefully make it not lag. Let's see. Hopefully it's not lagging. I'm trying, you guys, my hardest. I know. Thank you so much for sticking with me. I'm trying. I fucking hate YouTube live streams. Like, they would be so much more convenient for me to sit and talk about things that I want to talk about if they didn't fucking lag and cause, like, so many problems on a regular basis. So, that's cool. Okay, anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get into this video because I love you guys. And if it's lagging, I'm fucking sorry, dude. I'm sorry. This is gonna be my last live stream for the month. And to be honest, I was gonna make an actual video on this, but I'm just lazy, and I just figured that I didn't want to sit down for an additional several hours to make a video on this. I just wanted to come on live and just talk about it, because I feel like this is a very simple issue, and it's not something that I need to, like, make an official video on and spend hours, because why the fuck would I waste my time doing that when I feel like this is blatantly obvious on how to fix this issue? I don't know. So hopefully this is not going to lag, but if it does, I'm sorry. Thankfully the audio is not lagging, so just, you know, turn it off and go do some laundry and just listen to what I'm gonna say. And yeah, bitch. So anyway, I want to come on this live today, and I just want to talk to you guys about something that's been going on. All the tea and all the shade. Not even shade, because, I mean, we all know who this person is. I don't have any beef with this person. However, you know, I feel like it's time that we fucking talk about this, because this is just not cool. And I don't want people who are bullies in the equestrian community and just, like, really shitty people basically blowing that off and saying that it's okay that they're bullying other people because they're standing up for animal abuse by saying that, oh, you're fat and you shouldn't ride horses because you're hurting a horse, you know? I don't know, I feel obligated to come on here and make a video about this because I'm, like, probably the most well-known equine activist in the equestrian community, so in a way I feel responsible to come and make a video about this topic. So anyway, my apologies again if this is lagging, but you know, it is what it is. Hopefully I can figure it out by the time I end up doing my next live stream on YouTube, and I might just have to get, like, a direct internet connection or something. But, you know, your girl did not want to sit down and actually edit this video. I just feel like my raw opinion of this is what I'm gonna put out there, so this is what you're getting. But anyway, I love you guys, and I just want to come on and I just want to say a few things. So basically, over the last couple months, I've been noticing a trend in the equestrian community where, you guys know, I speak out about animal abuse on a regular basis. I talk openly about the 20% rule and how you need to weigh within 20% if you're going to ride horses, including tack. And this is to protect the horse. It's to protect the horse's muscular system and skeletal system and all of that. So there are legitimate anatomical reasons and health reasons as to why somebody needs to weigh within 20% of a horse's body weight. This has nothing to do with somebody being fat. And this is something that I have repeatedly talked about on my channel in every video that I have made addressing this topic, okay? I have openly talked about how you can be overweight according to BMI standards and ride horses as long as you find a horse that you are within 20% of their body weight. This has absolutely nothing to do with how big a person is. Anybody can ride horses at any size as long as they are within 20% of the horse's body weight. And that's, relative to a healthy horse and a healthy body weight. Obviously, if you have a horse that's obese, you still need to, ride a horse that you weigh within 20% of their weight at a healthy size, not just because the horse is obese. But, same goes for skinny horses. You probably shouldn't be riding a horse just because it's tall and the average weight is, let's say 1,200 pounds. You probably shouldn't be riding them if they are severely underweight, even if you weigh within 20% of their, average healthy body weight. So you have to take the horse's health into consideration. However, this is in regards to normal, healthy horses that you need to weigh within 20% of their body weight if you're going to ride them. And this goes for anybody. I am too big for smaller horses like ponies and miniature horses. I weigh way above their 20% rule as like a 125-pound adult, okay? So it has nothing to do with somebody being overweight. And when I see other equestrians on the platform straight up fat shaming other equestrians who are, according to BMI standards, overweight, it really upsets me when they try to say that they're doing it under the guise of animal activism. No, you're not an animal activist. You're just a shitty person. And I don't think by you attacking people and fat shaming other equestrians, I don't think by you blowing it off as you being an animal activist is really an excuse for your shitty behavior, because that's not the case. I mean, as one of the biggest equine activists out there, I have never once on my channel fat shamed anybody. Anytime I have called anybody out for being too big to ride a horse, I always address the underlying issue of this has nothing to do with people being overweight. This has to do with somebody not fitting within 20%. You could be skinny and still be over a horse's 20% rule. So this has to do strictly with the horse's size and weight, not the rider. You have to match whatever size and weight your horse is if you're going to ride, okay? So that's basically what I talk about as an animal activist, and I have never once fat shamed anybody on this channel because I don't give a shit what people look like. People can, look however they want to look. I mean, for Christ's sake, I have pink hair and purple hair, okay? And I change it up all the time. I don't care what people want to look like or whatever. I just care about the health of an animal and animals being cared for properly. And if you're going to ride animals, to ride them responsibly. Obviously, I would disagree with somebody who weighs over 20%, even if the person was skinny and they're riding a miniature horse. That's still just as abusive, and I would speak out about that as well. So I think there's a lot of equestrians out there who are going around and have started fat shaming other equestrians just because they're fat, when that person might actually weigh within 20% of the horse that they're riding, and you don't know that. And not to mention that if somebody does weigh over 20% of a horse's body weight, the way to go about that is not by attacking them for being overweight. You can say constructive criticism and just mention to them the problems that a horse can have, the medical and health degenerative problems that a horse can and will have by being ridden by somebody who weighs more than 20% of their body weight. You don't go out of your way to harass somebody and call them a fat ass or a fatty and say that they need to go to the gym. That's not how you get through to people, and that's definitely not the response that you should have if somebody does happen to weigh over 20% of the horse's body weight. There are more constructive ways to go about letting them know, rather than threatening to harass them openly on your fucking Instagram. So now let's get into the crazy Maisie thing that happened, because I don't know, it really upsets me, and I'm just gonna speak about it briefly because I really don't care to dive deeply into this issue. So for those of you who don't know, she's like an openly fatphobic person, and I kind of told everybody like a year and a half ago that she's not a very nice person, and pretty much nobody believed me. But recently it's been coming out lately, all the shit about her. So I'm not gonna get into it, you know? I mean, I feel like people get what they have coming to them, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. However, I think that it's wrong. As somebody who has like a huge equestrian platform, I think it's wrong to threaten to expose other people on your Instagram story. And I also think it's wrong to like openly fat shame people who weigh within 20% of their horse's body weight, but that just disagree with you and don't like you, and you're gonna like openly fat shame them and tell them that they're a fatty and they need to go to the gym. Like, bitch, I don't know. I don't really think that's cool, and I don't know. I've kind of like always had an issue with her because I pretty much always knew this stuff. But, you know, with her aside, the thing that is really concerning about the crazy Maisie stuff that happened over the last few days is the fact that there are so many people in the equestrian community who are defending her. Because she came out and she said that, oh, you know, yeah, I fat shamed her, but I did it because she's too big to be riding her horse and she weighs over 20%. Okay, even if that was the case, saying the shit that she said to that person is like totally unacceptable. And as an animal activist, I can fucking tell you right off the bat that it does not matter if somebody weighs more than 20% of a horse's body weight or not. Calling somebody a derogatory slur is no way to approach a situation in a healthy way. Okay, that's just you being a dick, and that's just you being a total fucking asshole and just really rude to people. That should never come out of any animal activist's mouth. And just because you say that you're like, I don't know, standing up for an animal and that's why you're fat shaming somebody, that doesn't mean that that's what you were actually doing. Because in my opinion, real animal activists don't go out of their way to like publicly shame and bash and harass other people. You do it in constructive ways where you can actually educate the person. So, you know, I'm just saying that the issue with her really upset me because of how many equestrians were backing her when she openly fat shamed and harassed a fellow equestrian who I actually think does weigh within 20% of her horse's body weight. And I mean, it was pretty unbelievable that so many people in the equestrian community were backing her. It's actually really shameful in my opinion. And I'm like here to tell everybody that no, as an animal activist, what she said defending herself by saying that she's standing up for an animal, no, that is not okay. You are not standing up for an animal by harassing another human being and telling them to go to the gym. That's not standing up for another animal. That's just you being a gross person and harassing somebody for being overweight. When even if they were overweight, that's not the way to go about solving this issue. And I want to say right off the bat, as probably the most well-known equine activist out there, that it is never okay, ever, to publicly fat shame people who are equestrians, or, I mean, obviously any overweight person, but especially equestrians, just because somebody might weigh over 20% of their horse's body weight. Even if that's the case, that's not how you go about solving that issue, and it should definitely not be condoned in the equestrian community for people to go around harassing and fat shaming other people and sending them like really terrible direct messages on Instagram just because that person might weigh more than 20%. And you're a shitty person. Like, I'm sorry. Fat shaming people and claiming you're an animal activist is not it for me. Okay, boo? So, just saying, that's basically the issue I'm having, and that's basically the reason why I'm making this video, is because I just wanted to come out and say this. It's been bothering me, and I don't think that being a shitty person you can't just then claim that you're doing it under the guise of animal activism when you're just a shitty person. Like, being an animal activist for basically my entire life, I've never once fat shamed anybody. And you can't just fat shame people and then blow it off as you're being an animal activist and you're standing up for an animal, because I'm pretty sure she said something like, well, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that. And I was like, oh, maybe you shouldn't have said that? Like, yeah, you definitely should not have said that. And I just want to put this statement out there as the probably most well-known equine activist on YouTube, that I don't stand by this. I don't condone this behavior. I don't want to be associated with equestrians fat shaming other equestrians and claiming that they're doing it to be equine activists. Yeah, I don't want to be associated with this, because there were so many people who were commenting stuff in support of Crazy Maisie on Instagram, saying that, oh, well, you know, nobody should be upset at her because Raleigh has also talked openly about people needing to weigh within 20%. Right, I've openly talked about people needing to weigh within 20% of a horse's body weight, but I've never fat shamed anybody. In fact, in every video, I have openly talked about how overweight people can ride horses if they find a horse that is the appropriate size for them. Just like me, right? There's plenty of horses that I can't ride. My boyfriend, there's plenty of horses that he can't ride because he's 6'5". He can't even ride Link. So this has nothing to do with a person. It has to do with the size of a horse, okay? And in every video where I have openly called out people for abusing horses by being too big to ride them, which I stand behind, I have never once fat shamed anybody, because it's not about that. It's not about being fat or being obese or being slightly overweight. It's about educating the public on what is good riding etiquette and how to properly treat a horse if you're going to ride them. And that, yes, you can ride horses, but find a horse that is within your size range, so that way you're not causing any problems. And that goes for every rider, even people who are my size. I have to find horses that can appropriately carry me, and there's plenty of horses who can't, that I personally am too big for. So I'm putting this out there because I don't want to be associated with this, okay? I've seen a lot of people who have been, you know, throwing my name around a lot and tagging me in a lot of the shit that's going on right now in regards to several equestrians, the biggest being Crazy Maisie, being called out for being openly fatphobic to people and sending like really harassing direct messages to them on Instagram and saying that they're doing it because they're standing up for animals who are, you know, being ridden and are the person's overweight. Yeah, man, I don't stand behind that. I've never once harassed anybody. I've never once fat shamed anyone. Like, all I'm here to do is educate people on horse health and treatment and care. That's really about it. I'm not here to fat shame anybody in the equestrian community, and I never have, and I have no problem with overweight people riding horses. Absolutely no problem at all. The only thing I care about is the 20% rule, and there's many overweight equestrians who are very responsible about that and who ride horses that they can appropriately ride. So that's all I wanted to say, because I just found it to be a total cop-out when she was saying, oh, yeah, I fat shamed her, but I did it because, oh, well, you know, the horse is being abused and I don't stand behind that. And it's like, I have openly talked about thousands of abuse cases on my channel where people are riding horses that they're too big for. And never once have I ever fat shamed anybody. Never once, because it's not about that. It's about the 20% rule and making sure you weigh within that. So, I mean, I guess my biggest reason why I'm making this video is just because I was really embarrassed about the amount of equestrians who were backing her and who liked her Instagram post where she was defending openly fat shaming somebody else under the guise of animal activism. And that just was really embarrassing to me, because I want people to know that there's a huge astronomical difference between educating people and fat shaming or harassing them or just being a fucking bully. There's a huge difference between calling somebody out and using constructive criticism versus like actually harassing and bullying people. Okay? A huge difference. So, oh, thank you so much for the super chat. Put my horse of 10 years down, gained some weight through college, and been out of practice for about 6 years. I'm so nervous to get back into riding after all this time. Any advice? Just don't fucking listen to anybody else, man. Like, my advice to every equestrian is to just fucking do your own thing, do whatever makes you happiest, and make sure that you're just treating your horses right. No matter what your size, you can ride horses as long as you weigh within 20%. And that's just point blank period what it is. Oh, I adore the hair, Raleigh. We should see Link more. I know, guys. I do have an equestrian trash coming out in 1 day or 2 days. I don't remember. And that's really exciting. That's why I wanted to live stream this, because I didn't want to, like, get this out the same time I was going to do my equestrian trash. So I just wanted to live stream this and get it out today, just because this is just how I personally feel, and I feel like fat phobia in the equestrian community is rampant, and it's all over the place. It's everywhere. I've been seeing it so much, and I just want people to know, point blank period, as like the main equine activist out there right now, there is no excuse for publicly bashing or fat shaming somebody, even if they weigh over 20%. The way to go about that is by educating them and being open and being nice and kind, and just letting them know how to further educate themselves on this issue and ways to improve as a rider. If you feel like the horse is in harm's way, you should never, ever go about this by saying that, you know, this person's fat, go to the gym, whatever. Fat shaming people is not how to get your message across, so just please don't do it. Prehistoric horses. I actually don't know any, but that's a very interesting question. Anyway, I just wanted to say that and just get this out of the way. I'm sorry that the live stream was lagging, but I wanted to say this and just get it off my chest, because point blank period, at the end of the day, I just don't want to be associated with this. I don't want to be associated with people fat shaming and body shaming others and then saying that they're doing it because they're an activist, because that's just not true. You're just doing it because you're a shitty person. So anyway, that's about all I had to say, and I'm going to leave it at that. So I love you guys, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.